There we go. Yep.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I have a guest that needs no introduction. Everybody knows him as Victor Salazar on Hulu's hit show, Love Victor. Welcome, Michael.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. Now, what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to talk to Michael for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and go into a Q&A time after that. So hold off on your questions until I announce the Q&A, and then please put your questions in the comments box, and we'll answer as many as we can, okay? Anyway, so Michael is a very, very important person to me. I've known him for a very long time. He his success has done nothing but bring me a bunch of happiness. I'm so grateful to and not at one bit surprised that it happened. Anyway, so Michael, because we're in acting school and we talk a lot about getting people from point A to point B. In
Yes.
fact, you started with me a long, long time ago, right? Years ago,
Yeah,
and
I think
you got
probably 13 years ago or something like that, 12 or 13 years ago.
yeah, 12, yeah, a long time ago.
Yep.
Yeah, in fact, we were coming up those stairs. Your legs were barely tall enough to like make the
Yep.
staircase.
Yeah.
So, but what do you say to people like Vegas isn't very far from Hollywood. It kind of we feel like a little satellite there, right? But what
Yeah,
about
I mean definitely like Vegas is pretty close to California. Obviously, like it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive or something like that. So it's not close, but it's not far, you know.
what do you say to people who think because they don't live in Hollywood or live in California that they can't make it?
Well, I think that's especially now during COVID, I feel like that's not really like the mindset anymore, you know, because realistically, they don't even see people in person anymore. It's all self tape and they even I like still don't do in person stuff. I'm doing all self tapes and stuff like that. So you know, realistically, now I feel like you could kind of just do this from anywhere, and I don't necessarily know if it's going to change anytime soon.
Well, tell us a little bit about your journey of making it in Hollywood.
Well, when I was growing up, uh, you know, I really wanted to do this, but I didn't necessarily know how to go about it. Once I was like 13, I started pursuing it professionally, you know, and kind of like getting, um, you know, getting auditions and doing that sort of thing because I got an agent. And obviously, then it's a little bit different than it is now. Like, I feel like there's a long time where you just, especially, I don't know about now, but back then when I was auditioning, like there's a time where you're just auditioning just to like kind of put your name out there, right? Like people need to know kind of like who you are. Obviously, there is rare cases where you'll book a job, it's your first audition, whatever else, but most of the time, you are auditioning for a long time, just making connections, meeting people, making friends with casting directors and whatever else, getting in like those good graces, but also becoming like a familiar face.
Right.
I feel like, a lot of times when people like you, they push harder for you because, I mean, who wants to work with somebody that they don't like?
Right. Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
So, how many auditions do you think you went on before you booked your first role?
Geez. As far as like booking like an actual big role, probably
Just any.
over. Okay, so like I booked like a short film like pretty early on in my like into my process. I booked a short film, but then after that, geez, it takes a long time. Like I think there's like a saying where it's like every 80 auditions you'll book one. So I feel like that's very much the case. Like you audition, and you send a bunch of, especially now, you send in a bunch of self tapes into the void, and you just wait to see what's going on. But yeah, like I would say that's probably the case.
Okay. Well, so you went down to Hollywood. You started doing your audition. how much did education play into that? Schooling, as far as you're still actually getting training now, aren't you? Even though you got a show, you're being successful, you just finished a movie that you shot in Atlanta, you still pay attention to your school, your education as far as an actor, don't you?
I mean, everyone has a different process. I have friends that are phenomenal actors that never have taken classes before. For me, that's just not how it worked. Taking classes really helped my process and kind of helped me hone my craft. I feel like, especially when you take a good class, it's like a tribe of people that you can rely on. You know what I mean? I have my tribe, so to speak, and we all call each other the tribe, and it is that, like, very much so. Like, it's a place where we all sharpen each other's swords and really work hard to kind of like work hard to kind of like just improve, but also like when someone fails, we're also there to just like observe and watch and learn from their failures, and vice versa. Like, I think that a lot of times it's very scary to fail, right? And so when you're in a safe space where it feels comfortable to fail so that you can learn from that, I think that's like an important thing for sure.
Yeah, so there is a lot of rejection in this business, especially in the beginning, isn't there? That's just one of the toughest things to have to deal with, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, I mean, rejection is definitely part of it. Like, it, again, like, it goes, the rejection is part of it's part of acting. Like, if you don't deal well with rejection, then don't do this. Don't be part of this industry. Like, it takes a long time to kind of get somewhere. Like, there's literally been, even after you book for a while, there's sometimes you go through dry spots where it's like you don't book anything. Like, there was a point in time where I didn't book anything for 2 years, and again, that's part of it. That's like part of the course. So, if you continue to work hard and stuff, then yeah, like, you will eventually get there, but you have to work hard, make the connections, and like meet people. Like, I feel like so much of this industry is, obviously you need to be a good actor, but it's also like just knowing people. You need to have people in your corner, whether that be your agent who knows the right people and has people in their corner, or it's you make a good connection with the casting director or whatever, that they're in your corner pushing for you as well, because they like, I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't have a good team behind me, like, in agent, manager, etc. And because they were pushing for me, they pushed for me, and they really make things happen for me. So
Now, a lot of people probably don't know this, and I'll embarrass you a little bit, but I've known you for a long time. Very few people realize what a really good, special human being that you are. And yeah, I know I'm blowing your head up a little bit, but I do, um, and I think that plays a lot into what you're saying. That in this industry, you don't want to burn any bridges. So you definitely don't want to be in a position where you're making people uncomfortable around you, because you're never going to work. They're just not going to take that risk, right?
I feel like, yeah, like, the industry is very different than old Hollywood, so to speak. They don't really necessarily put up with like temper tantrums and whatever else like they used to. Obviously, there's still those rare cases where I'm sure that there's like big stars that kind of do that same thing, but that's not fun for anybody. Like, nobody wants to be part of that, nor does anybody kind of like want to do that. So it's like, I think that just genuinely just being a good person and like trying to work with people that you enjoy is like very important.
Now, there's been sets where people don't really get along, and there's a lot of issues. But on the Love Victor set, you guys really all get along, and you guys spend time together. You do some really neat things together, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously you're not going to be friends with everyone you work with. I've been really lucky though to foster these friendships with these people that I've been working with for a while now, and I feel like it really shows on screen, where it's like, I love my cast. Like, I love the people that they are. And I love also like the fact that like I could rely on them and they could rely on me. I think that, again, that goes into creating a safe space for other people is so important. Like when you are on set, if everyone is scared to work with you, or scared to approach you and talk to you about things, like that doesn't feel like a safe work environment. It doesn't feel like a healthy work environment, which is like very much so like what this needs to be. Like it needs to be something that's safe and fun. And I mean, you're working 14 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3, 4, 5 months, sometimes 6 months. Like if everyone feels like they have to walk on eggshells around you, like that doesn't create like a nice, fun work environment. It's just like, your crew is so much more of like a part of of why this is happening than you are. And thus, like, just being nice to them and connecting with them is important.
Yeah, I know that's really important to you, and I know that as somebody who takes on the lead in a role, you take that responsibility on of making everybody feel safe and comfortable on the set. And of course, you do, from my perspective. Okay, well, I know we got some people who really want to start asking some questions. So why don't we go ahead and start taking some of those questions? Please put your questions in the comment box, and we'll get to as many as we can.
Okay. Hi, how are you? I have one question. How and when did you get your agent? Okay, so again, that just goes into like, kind of meeting the right people, being in the right place in the right time, right? So for me, how I got my agent was one of my acting coaches knew this agency and like connected me with them. Like they kind of opened the door for me, and then obviously but after that, I needed to audition and not audition. Audition for them. Like I had to read a few scripts and whatever else. So, that's like important. That's an important part of, doing this for sure, is like kind of just, meeting the right people, but also, having good headshots, blah, 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 whatever else. But yeah, that's kind of how I met my agents personally. But, you could also, for a while, you can submit yourself, to be honest. Like now we're kind of in a place in time where it's like you could submit yourself on a lot of for a lot of things, but then after a certain point you need to get an agent. Like it's something that like you will need. A lot of people don't even have managers, but they just have agents. So I would say definitely get a what's it called? I would say definitely get an agent that works for you and that also is like in your corner. And that sometimes how you submit to agents is just like getting their emails, sending your headshots in and whatever else. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But obviously when people can open the door for you, that really helps a lot.
Okay. Will you take another question?
For Cooper, how long did it take for you to get your part in Love, Victor? How many auditions? This is a good question, actually. So basically, when I was auditioning for Love, Victor, originally I went into that same casting office for a different project, and I saw that they were casting for, it was called Love, Simon the Series at the time. I was like, oh, okay, like cool, like that looks like I love the movie, blah blah blah, whatever else. And then after that, they I got a call to go in and read for it. So I did that, and I think then I did like a whole bunch more auditions. I think it was like eight to 10 or 11 auditions for this one project. And it was a lot of back and forth, a lot of heartbreak. I was auditioning and I was in the running. I tested for it, got my contract, everything else, right? And then after I did that, they re-released the role back out to the public to basically be like, all right, well, if anyone else wants, like, they basically re-released the role. And, I could have either been like, all right, well, like, whatever, screw this, like, I'm so done with it, whatever else. But I was like, no, like, this feels like I need to be part of this. Like, I want this role. And like, I felt like this was something that was important. And, so I had my team reach out to casting, and I was like, please let them send me it. Like, let them have them let me send in a tape. So I did that. And then after I did that, they were like, okay, cool. Come back in and we'll do like another test, like a director's test. So I did that. And then went to another like network test, and that's what happened. And that's how I booked it. So again, this industry is all about like heartbreak but also like not giving up. You have to like continue to work hard. Like there's been plenty of heartbreak through this like through my career, but like also in the same token, like when you kind of like when this kind of stuff happens and you like don't give up, it helps.
Okay. Another question.
How do you prepare yourself for emotional scenes? Okay, so I mean that's a good question. It just kind of depends on like what I'm doing. Like I'm not the type of person and I think this just is me as an actor. I'm not the type of person that like, gets upset when like people are laughing or doing whatever they need to do, because some actors are like that. They get upset when like other people are having a good time when they're trying to get into their moment. But I'm not very much like that. I just kind of like put my headphones in, sit to myself, listen to music, and just kind of like process what I need to do and get ready for the scene. But yeah, that's kind of like how I do it.
Okay.
What kind of type of acting classes do you take, and how long are the classes? Also, what city? So I take classes in LA now because that's where I've been spending most of my time. Well, I think like there's not really a type of acting class. It's like more so about like the teacher. You know what I mean? Like I feel like as long as you have a teacher that really supports you and like elevates you, then you're good. Like you could take a class that's about Meisner or whatever else, but if they're not good teachers, then you're not going to succeed. So it's more so about the teacher more than about like the type of class that you're taking. Because everyone has like a different process, and understanding like what works better for you is important.
Yeah, you got some pretty good support.
Yeah, definitely.
Just hey, so another question.
When portraying a character, do you have any techniques slash advice on how to embody that character and feel like you really are them? Like that reality is yours. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, I think like when you embody the character in a character, obviously each character has like a struggle that is unique to them, right? But what makes me kind of connect to a character is knowing what's kind of riding on that. We did this one exercise in class one time where everyone in class wrote on a notepad, whether it was funny or whatever else, an experience that they had, right? So there was like some where it's like I stepped in dog poop today and I got in my car and there's dog poop all in my car, right? And then there's some serious ones like, just like kind of like, let's, for example, like, my parents used to beat me or whatever it is, right? And it's honoring the struggle of other people and like knowing that you're representing other people on the screen. And for me, that really helps me connect to the character, because it's like, okay, well, if I don't represent these people accurately, then like, what am I doing? That's our job as actors, is to represent people accurately on screen.
That's so true.
So that's definitely what I would, what helps me connect to it kind of.
Okay, another question, please.
Have you ever seen your confidence in acting grow with Love Victor in now senior year? I mean, yes and no. You know what I mean? Like, I think that your confidence as an artist always kind of, it always kind of grows as you continue to do more and kind of like do more work and whatever else. But also in the same token, that shouldn't be what your confidence stems from. I think when you work every day for 4 or 5 months, you're acting every single day. I think that inherently builds your confidence, not necessarily booking a job. I mean, obviously, yes, that does book your confidence, but if that's the case, then you're going to be an egotistical person by the end of like, when you're working all the time, you're going to become an egotistical person. I would definitely say that like change your mindset if that is it. and maybe just be like, okay, well, I feel more confident now because I've learned more. Like when you're working on set, you learn so much, especially because you're acting for like 12 hours a day, to 12 to 14 hours a day, and you're doing just that, and you're getting paid to do it. So it's like you don't have to worry about anything else. I think that's probably for me where my confidence as an artist stems from now.
All right.
Yeah, my cat. That was my cat. When you go to an audition, do you have a scene already prepared, or do you have a monologue? No, I think that definitely just kind of depends on like, what the audition is. Like they send you stuff though. They won't just like let you go in and just do whatever. They send you sides most of the time. So that's definitely like sides, character breakdown, whatever else. Sometimes they don't do that if it's like a really, really like exclusive whatever else project, then they won't, because they don't want like people to find out what it is. So they'll send you dummy sides and like a dummy character, or they'll send you like a character description, but like, very low key.
Okay. Any more?
What advice do you have for aspiring actors like myself? Well, I would definitely just say that it's consistency is key. That's definitely something I've learned over the past like few months, is that consistency and staying consistent with it is more important than anything. I mean, there are actors that weren't necessarily great when they first started, but became amazing because they were consistent and always tried to be better than their last project.
Such a good answer, Michael. That is so true. That's so true. So true. All right, maybe one or two more questions.
What was the most important lesson you've learned when you started acting at a young age? I would say like the most important lesson that I've learned is that, that's a good question. I mean, because at a young age, like, I think that the biggest thing I learned was just like to have fun, enjoy it. Like I think that sometimes we get so wrapped up in this because it can be quite taxing on your mind. Like you just want to be the best that you possibly can be, and but definitely I would say that like the lesson that I learned when I was younger is that like you need to enjoy what you're doing and like find love in that.
All right, maybe one more.
What do you like about acting the most? I would say the people that you meet through this industry is incredible. That from varying places, and you meet people from a whole bunch of different places, and you meet incredible people. You meet people that maybe aren't so incredible. You meet people that are like kind of goofy and weird and whatever else. Like the people that you meet through this industry are like, I think that's probably arguably one of the best parts about doing what we do. Like we all connect so quickly because it's like, what else do you like? We're all very empathic, and when you're away for 3 months or 4 months and you're stuck in this weird town with a whole bunch of people that you didn't know before, you guys get really close because you guys are the only people that they could all hang out. So I definitely say that.
All right. Well, Michael, I want to thank you so much for coming on. I love you to death. A few things. So, your very first interview ever
was with Frank. Frank interviewed
with me in
our
original acting school, Hollywood Bound Acting Academy, and it's actually on my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel. So if you guys look it up under Frank Perillo YouTube, you can see him. I think you were 13 maybe?
Probably even younger, to be honest. I don't know. I was really young. You
guys can see that. And, oops, I made my screen go blank. And also, listen, if anybody's interested in some acting classes online, if you don't live in the Las Vegas area, we're going to offer everybody who goes to our website and fills out the guest thing, they can get a free Zoom class with me because of you. But Michael, I know you weren't feeling that well today, but you came on anyway. I really appreciate. I love you to death. You know that.
Thanks, Ray. I got tonsillitis, y'all, so that's why I've been like kind of low energy more than usual. It's just I got tonsillitis, so
Yes, but we'll have you on again soon. Maybe
yes, definitely.
before before you start shooting season 3.
Yes, definitely. We'll figure it out for sure.
All right.
All right. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Bye.